Let's talk about super microcomputers, stock symbol SMCI. Earnings out today. Of course, they have all sorts of issues on that end, but they warned about fiscal third quarter earnings and revenue being much lower than expected. So as a result, the stock has dived after hours to the tune of about 18%. What I want to do in this video here is I want to take a look at this chart itself. Is there any support underneath that could give us a little bit of hope that it's going to find a bottom? And from there, where do we go as traders of this stock? So let's go ahead and dive into that right now. Going back to those highs from 2024, if you push just below it, I think there is a prevailing trend line here that we want to be aware of. Okay, that takes us to where if it made a move eventually, not right now, but if it did make a move up to $56, that would be a significant resistance level. Now it'll continue to decrease as time goes on. And then you go back to August, you had this nice inverse head and shoulders pattern that formed. It broke out, but this should be a concern going forward, is that it's not holding these breakouts for very long. In this case, it was like a 2-day breakout, and then it came right back down again. So there's a lot of issues with the stock beyond the headline risk, beyond the fact that their earnings situation is a mess. Headline risk, that alone keeps me from even wanting to consider trading this stock because the headline risk is so severe. I don't want to wake up one morning and I'm down 20 or 30 or even 40% on the trade. The biggest hope that I believe that the bulls have for themselves going on right now is this rising trend line underneath. This goes back to the November lows of last year. It's been tested twice and it's held each time. And look, when we go ahead and put on the after hours trading, look where it takes it down to, right down to this rising trend line. So it's trying to hold that level in the after hours trading. When the regular trading hours come about tomorrow, will it be able to hold on to that level? And that's the big key. If it doesn't hold on to that level, then you want to start being aware of some of these other support levels. For one, the lows from April 7th. The other would be the lows from February 3rd. These are not really strong support levels, but there's not a lot for it to work with. You have some support right here that pretty much lines up with this rising trend line that if it does break, then it's lost a significant support level. But then after that, there's no other support levels that you can get really excited about. This is a stock that I think that has the potential to go all the way back down and test those November lows. So that's why it's going to be so imperative for the stock tomorrow to hold this level, because beyond this rising trend line, there's not a lot of strong support underneath for the stock. In fact, if you go back long term, you can find a little bit more support than what we're seeing on the chart here in the short term. You have a long-term rising trend line that goes all the way to the lows from 2023. That could still be in play. But again, we're not that far off from what we saw back in November. Lows from November, about $17 and change. Lows right here, about $19.50. So a little more than 10% higher than off of those November lows. Either way, it's a very bad situation for SMCI if it gets back down to those levels there. Now, I know a lot of people leaving this stock. A lot of people are passionate about the stock. Probably a lot of people don't agree with me because it doesn't line up with their positions. There's a lot of people underwater on this stock. But when we're looking at stocks, we can't base our analysis off of what we hope that it will do. I don't own this stock. I'm not short this stock. I have no dog in this fight, but I do enjoy providing technical analysis. And in this case, technical analysis doesn't look good, coupled with the fact that you have horrendous headline risk going on with it, especially when you see the reports that came out today. As a result, that is not a stock that I want to be able to hold short term because of the headline risk, long term because I doubt its sustainability to provide good shareholder return, and anything in between. If you enjoyed this video, I would encourage you to like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments below, what is your outlook on SMCI? Are you buying this dip tomorrow, or are you washing your hands of it and saying, no, I'm stepping aside. I'll let somebody else buy that dip. Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys, and God bless.